let's talk a little bit about this past school year. What were some of the major accomplishments in District 5 that you're most proud of?
Well, I think we made significant gains instructionally. Our test scores show that now, particularly with a lot of our elementary schools. We think we're on the right track to have those elementary kids better prepared for middle school and high school. Our graduation rates continue to tick up at both high schools, which, you know, is to me is the ultimate test of success. Are you graduating kids on time? But bear in mind, the closer you get to 100%, the harder it is to move the needle. You know, it's kind of the law of diminishing returns. But one of the things that we're proud of, and it is, I think, has helped statewide, is that we became the first district in the state to be an e-learning district. Many of our parents are familiar with this. I believe we used it twice last year for inclement weather, where our students have all their assignments online through their Chromebooks. We are a K-12 Chromebook, and a Chromebook is really nothing more than a laptop computer that's issued to each student. We had very positive feedback from our parents on our website, messages that were left, a lot of great pictures, anecdotal stories of parents working with kids. And we were the first in the state to be approved. Then there were 4 other districts that were approved after us. And the General Assembly, through a proviso, allowed additional districts to be approved this year, for this coming school year. And there were 10 additional districts. The whole e-learning program is really governed by the Education Oversight Committee. Melody Barton is the director of that. So there are 10 additional districts, so it's 15 total. The 5 original districts are mentor districts to the new ones. So we have, our mentees will be Anderson District 1, Anderson District 2, Anderson District 3, and then 2 districts in Lexington County. So other than Anderson District 4, all the school districts in Anderson County will be e-learning districts, which means in case of inclement weather, we work online, our teachers work, our staff does professional development, you know, to earn their time at work, and we won't have to make it up. We believe that our parents like that because spring break's not interrupted. The end of the school year, when you're having to come back after schools, everyone knows when it's supposed to be out. Attendance is terrible. Probably 20%, 25% of students even come to school on make-up days. So it's a better use of resources, and we were very excited to pilot it last year and look forward to eventually this being something that the vast majority of districts in the state will do. So that was exciting for us last year. As I mentioned earlier, the achievements we made academically, particularly our elementary schools, we'll be sharing that with the board in the next coming board meetings. We finished several construction projects. Thanks to the sales tax, we have some ongoing now. Most folks have seen we were able to put artificial turf on our baseball and softball fields at both high schools. We're the first district, the first high school in the state to have that on baseball and softball fields. It saves a lot of money and ground upkeep and those kind of things. We finished a lot of small projects at our schools, awnings, painting, just general maintenance kind of things that we've been able to do. Big projects that we're doing currently, we're finishing 2 projects, one at Tiahana and one at Westside. It's a multi-purpose activity building that has boys and girls locker rooms, which really helps us out with any kind of Title IX issues for locker room space for females. And it also has a multi-purpose room that can be used for indoor cheerleading practice, indoor baseball practice. You can actually practice, you know, a modified version of football in there, or wrestling or whatever. So we're finishing those projects. We also have a new fine arts center at Southwood Academy of the Arts that is being should be completed by December. It seats a little over 400. We're excited that that'll be another venue for our performing arts. You know, currently we have some nice fine arts centers at Robert Anderson and Glenview. This will allow another one. We also have Project Challenge Playhouse, which is a small venue, and then we have Calhoun Academy of the Arts. So we have the intimate small venue at Project Challenge that seats a little over 100. Then we'll have the state-of-the-art facility at Southwood that's going to seat, I think, 420, 430, something like that, but state-of-the-art sound and lighting. Then, of course, the over 800 seat at Calhoun Academy of the Arts. So we think that really helps our art program that continues to grow and expand, and we think it'll be a good addition. And bear in mind, none of this would have been possible without the 1-cent sales tax. And I would just like to share with the viewers kind of the impact that's made not only on Anderson District 5, but Anderson County. Our first collection of the sales tax was in March of 2015. It was passed in November of 14. So we've collected 51 months. We're usually about 2 months in the rear of getting the money. Those 51 months, we've collected over $98 million in 51 months, which, if you do the math, comes out to around $1.9 million a month. Now, if you carry that out through the life of this sales tax, which doesn't expire till 2029, so we have 129 more months to collect. At the current rate, that will generate around $260 million additional money. So at the end of the day, we're comfortable that's if there's no growth, that if it stays exactly like it is, which means that for the life of this sales tax, we will collect over $360 million that is prorated out. Anderson District 5 gets 40% of that, which will come out to about $143 million. And each district is prorated based on their enrollment. For District 5, as I said, that we'll have around $145 million, which is more than the 2007 $140 million bond referendum that was passed that was going to be paid back in 30 years. These $140 million is being paid back in 15 with sales tax. And also 20% is going, of total collection, is going to reduce the bond indebtedness that individuals pay on their homes and additional property that they own. So my hope is that the voters of Anderson County will renew this sales tax in 2029 and really allow, once and for all these school districts to have a chance to be debt-free. I know District 5 can, and you know, just looking at our numbers, if it's passed again, and then imagine that on your homes or your children's homes, you know, by then they'll be grown or buying homes. Imagine there's no bond indebtedness at all, and that is a huge accomplishment that few districts ever get to do, that few municipalities ever have, and few individuals, you know. And so it's been great for us. It's been a great opportunity.
For people who don't understand it, it helps keep their taxes down. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah, exactly. It rolls back property tax.
Right.
And the beauty of the sales tax is it was estimated when we got into this that 30% of it is generated from people that don't even live here. They're passing through on 85. They're coming over from Georgia. They're blowing through here going to Clemson games. And they leave a penny out of every dollar they spend for our schools in Anderson County. And bear in mind that the tax is not on gasoline, groceries, or prescription medicine. So it doesn't impact particularly our senior citizens that unfortunately the majority sometimes of their income is spent on medicine and medical care. So it as we said all along, it makes good sense to have the 1 cent sales tax. So it'll be my hope, and I hope whoever who replaces me as superintendent by 2029, that it'll be their goal to renew this, because it's a no-brainer and it will give us an opportunity. Moving forward to next year, we're excited. We have a new principal at several of our schools. Curtis Smith is a new principal at Robert Anderson, who had actually worked there as an assistant and had been at Westside. He's taken over that. Leonard Galloway was transferred. He was at Robert Anderson. Leonard's been in the district really his whole life. He grew up here. He's the principal now at Glenview Middle School. Walter Mayfield, who was principal at Glenview Middle School, is now principal at T.L. Hanna. Sean Tobin, who had been principal there for the last 5 years, retired and is doing some other things that he wanted to do. So Hanna will have a new leadership. We have a new band director at Hanna. We also have a new football coach, Coach Heron, who did a tremendous job in the time he was here, but his chief assistant and offensive coordinator, Coach Tone, is taking over that, and the transition, from all reports, has gone very smoothly. Tana Maroney is a new principal at Concord Elementary. Miss Maroney at one time was principal at Whitehall Elementary, and then she'd been working in the district office doing coaching and some intervention. And Miss Beryl Barclay, retired after a long tenure at Concord, and Miss Maroney is taking that over. So those are some key leadership changes at the district office. We've reorganized somewhat here. We were lucky enough to hire Hannah Arnold, who came from District 3. She is going to be our working with our secondary schools and instruction under Trip Duke's team. So we feel like we really improved our instructional team with Hannah. She's very bright. We're excited for that. To the folks that have been in Anderson a long time, we're excited that the Career Center, which was the old McDuffie High School, which was the old boys' high school, is now will be forever known as the Reams Educational Center, named after Mr. Reams, C.F. Reams, who, for those who graduate from Boys High, have fond memories and some great stories.
Frog.
Yeah, and Miss Talbert, still lives in Anderson and has been very helpful to us in a lot of endeavors. And we've met with her. We met with as she calls it, Frogs Boys, and we had went to a luncheon with them over at her house, and they're very excited. So the signage should be up as I speak, and we're going to use that building for a personalized learning center for some students who here before would have been expelled from school, but they really don't need to be expelled. They just need an alternative setting. They'll stay there for a period of time and then come back to their school, be successful. We also have one of our special ed programs there, the Bridge program. And we also have our charter school in that facility. We have a lot of space there that we're going to use for we can use for additional office space. We can use it for storage. We're going to use some of that area for our buildings and grounds to store equipment in those automotive bays. So it's really, the last thing Anderson needs is another empty building. So we wanted to repurpose that. For those who ride by there may see we demolished a house beside that facility that we owned that was intended to be a conference center, just never really got off the ground. So we demolished that, cleaned a lot of that up, because we want to be good neighbors. We want our grounds to look good. And hopefully the viewers have seen that. We take great pride in our grounds crews and landscaping and our fences. We've put up over 9 miles of fencing in the last few years, taking down old rusted galvanized, which it's quite a bit of fencing that we've been able to do. But the highlight of this year will be the opening of Anderson Institute of Technology. It's a $34 million building. It's a partnership with Anderson's districts 3, 4, and 5. Anderson 5 has paid for 70% of that building because we have 70% of the kids, and districts 3 and 4 roughly pay about 15 or 14 or whatever percent. We'll all have students there. We're excited about it. That's the site of the old Lakeside Middle School. And I've been asked, well, why did you demolish Lakeside? Well, Lakeside was a small middle school. Small schools are nice, but they're very expensive. So we consolidated that with Robert Anderson. But we wanted that site because if you drive through there, there's a road and a sidewalk that connects that campus to Tri-County Technical Anderson campus. So our students will be able, so a lot of our students will take classes at Anderson Institute of Technology, will walk next door and take college level classes at the technical college, go back to their high school and go to band practice, football practice, cheerleading practice, yearbook, or whatever, and still have that high school experience, but in a collegiate environment that will really be off campus. And for us, a lot of our students, some actually take classes at Hanover West Side. They may take a class at Southwood Academy of the Arts, an advanced art class, and then take a class at Anderson Institute of Technology. So it's more of a, I guess we're kind of like a university system, that we have campuses all over District 5 that high school students have the advantage to take a variety of things that you cannot offer when you have a standalone a comprehensive high school.
In Anderson Institute of Technology, there's nothing else like it in the state, correct?
No, there's some others. I don't think there's anything like it as far as the location with the technical college. There's some nice career centers. Lexington, where Dr. Couch came from, we were able to recruit him as the director, and Bob Couch is known in the whole Southeast. I mean, he's done work in Georgia, he's done work in he's done work in a lot of our bordering states. He's kind of the godfather of career tech education, and so we were very fortunate to get someone of his caliber to come and open this facility. He's been here 2 years as we've worked, and been a lot of to get to this point, a lot of work. We're very proud of our partnership with Districts 3 and 4. We think the public, I've been told, hey, it's the first time y'all have actually districts work together. And I know Districts 1 and 2 have a career center, but we would have never passed the sales tax if all 5 boards of education, all 5 superintendents had not all been on the same page. And we hope that spirit of collaboration and cooperation continues as we move forward, with other projects. But that AIT is the big ticket item that we're excited about for this school year. All our schools have an SRO, a police officer. Some of our schools are in the city of Anderson, so we have city police, and then the majority are in the county, and they have the sheriff's department. We have a great relationship with Sheriff McBride and also Chief Stewart. We work constantly to upgrade our camera systems, which we have probably over 1,000 cameras in this school district. We're in the process of doing an audit, working, this is really through our financial department, auditing our safe school plans, our facilities, kind of like a risk management. You know, where are any loopholes? So it's something that we take very seriously, and it's something that probably every employee thinks about every day. You know, just recently we had the tragedy in El Paso, and knock on wood, we haven't had an incident. We try to be vigilant. Our kids, we stress, you see something, you say something. We've solved a lot of potential problems with students coming forward, trusting a teacher, trusting a coach or a counselor when they see things on Facebook. And fortunately, it all turned out to be just, you know, Facebook chit-chat. But we're glad that people report it, and we follow up on everything. And the best prevention are students, because they hear things, they know things, whether it's drugs, weapons, or whatever. And but it's something that, you know, that keeps you awake at night. Well, I think it's crucial. I mean, our tagline is we want excellence in academics, arts, and athletics. And data supports that kids that are involved in something after school, whether it's ROTC, band, athletics, whatever it is, those students academically perform better than students who just come to school and go to class and go home. You know, I mean, there's no doubt that when a child is involved in an activity, they're going to perform better academically. And there's a lot of research to show that the more they're involved in all year long, the better they're going to do. And it gives them discipline, it gives them structure, routine. You know, I go to practice and this and that, and you know, if they go to another sport or whatever in the winter, and the more active they can be, and the more involved, the better academically they're going to do. One of the things we are focusing this year, we've got to get a handle on cell phone use. Nationwide, it's out of control. It's out of control for adults. You know, we've actually had elementary kids bring cell phones to school, and our principals are going to inform the parents moving forward. No elementary students can bring cell phones to school. And I think most parents are going to like that. I have 2 grandchildren that are in elementary school, and my son said, I wish they would do it. He lives in Georgia. I wish they'd do that here, because my children, if a friend gets a cell phone, then they want a cell phone. And what we're seeing, particularly elementary kids and middle school, if you don't have a cell phone, you're not in the group, you're not in the cool group. So we're going to ban them or prohibit them at elementary. At middle school, they can have them, they can bring them, but if they're seen or heard, they'll be taken up and a parent has to pick them up. Then in high school, we're going to have limited use based on lunch and free time, those kind of things. So it's the older you get, the more ability you get to use them. We just started doing a little research about it. France actually banned them in all their public schools in the whole country. And you know, and a lot of school districts are moving toward that, and some have actually shown where academic performance increased when they did prohibit cell phones. Long term, we're finishing a project. We have another project at Hannah we're doing on the visitor side of the stadium. We're building restrooms and concessions. That stadium was built. Actually, if you look at the way that track's laid out, the visitor side should be the home side, the way the track is, you know, the start line and all that. So and currently there's only restrooms in the end zone, you know, where radio statue is and all that. Well, that can be problematic when you have a game, especially a rival game. Building concessions and restrooms on the visitor side, it won't be open during football season. It will be open in the spring, which will be good because we during soccer games and things, they can actually sit on that side, because we do have a problem at Hannah with when there's a baseball game and they're practicing and people are in the bleachers, foul balls can't reach the bleachers as much as fencing as we've put up and netting, but it's just a layout of that baseball field. What I think we need to do is just take a deep breath. We've done a lot of projects, you know, 50 or $60 million worth of buildings in the last 5 years, and really evaluate what we want to do. But now that the construction is slowing down, we really want to dig deep and look at what we're doing instructionally, particularly at our elementary schools. I guess to answer your question, what we want to do this year is do school and do it well. The best way with district is on our website. We keep everything updated on Facebook. The schools do a great job of updating parents, because they always copy me on things they're sending. But I always tell parents, regardless of the age, know your child's teacher, know your child's counselor, and know your child's principal. You know, even if it's just to go in and introduce yourself. I'm Tom Wilson's dad. If you ever have any issues, give me a call, and I want to work with you so my child will be successful. And you know, a lot of parents don't do that. They just, you know, well, particularly when they get into high school, they want to drop them off or drive your car or go. But I'll tell you, and I was a high school principal, they probably need you more in high school and middle school than they did in elementary. Because in elementary, their eyes are never off of an adult. An adult's eyes are never off a child. They're with the teacher all the time. When they get in middle and high, there's more free time, and they have the one thing that we all worry about are automobiles. And you know, parents just tend to say, whew, I got them through, here's your car, go. But they need to be involved. As far as District 5, folks that may be new, our district office is located at 400 Pyramidaire Road, right down across the street from Anderson Institute of Technology. We have 23 school sites. It's counting our adult ed and the new Ream Center. We'll have approximately 14,000 students next year, give or take. We have a little over 1,800 employees full-time, and then other auxiliary staff part-time, contracted employees, that primarily in special ed, those kind of things. One of the things that I'm proud of is that we don't outsource. We outsource very little. Our bus drivers are our employees. Our buildings and grounds are our employees. Our food service are our employees. I like that. Some districts outsource, and that's their right. I just believe that you feel more ownership when people work for the business and they don't work for a third party. Their kids go to school here, and it makes them a part, whether it's from, you know, someone mowing the lawn or to a principal or to the superintendent, that we're all on the same team and we all work for a great school district, Anderson School District 5.